You can tell oh, right,
Hey,
we are live. So you can tell I really dressed up for the occasion.
yeah, really getting spoofed
T-
up.
Today's Juneteenth, so I'm not going into the office today.
Yeah,
I'm not taking the day off. That's a corporate thing to do. I still operate very entrepreneurial.
I right? Yeah, there's a different. I'm like, wait, what's happening? Friday? Oh yeah, well, I don't celebrate holidays. I
Well, I
mean,
would like to
I take
celebrate all holidays.
I take my time when I want it, but yeah, it's always funny.
Yeah, I got a
You know,
list of
folks are
things I
like,
need to do. The great thing with holidays is that there's no meeting scheduled. The
that is nice.
I
Get a
think the
little
hardest
deep work in.
thing about my job is doing all of the meetings back to back, traveling and speaking, like doing my job, but then
Yeah.
trying to do all of the work. So it's like a threefold, But I'll tell you what, man. Um, have you dealt? Have you? Since we haven't talked for a minute, but have you dove into Claude Code yet?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm using, what is it called? Virtual VS. Oh man, what's it called? Visual Studio Code, VS Code.
Mm-hmm.
You're using that as well? Okay. It's game changer. Claude Code.
Yeah.
So AI chat,
Yeah.
chatting back and forth for information. Okay, level one
Yep.
game changer. Like we've had this
Right.
conversation 2 years ago, back when we were figuring out how I got onto Chat GPT. Chat GPT, I don't even hear that name anymore. Do you? Like, I think
It's
Claude is like the
definitely.
reigning winner so far.
I've been uh pounding that drum a little bit. I'll still find myself tapping into ChatGPT occasionally, but yeah, daily Claude's daily driver for sure.
So I can't remember the last time I got into, with exceptions to going back and going into my old project files to see some of the things that I've said and what the
Yeah,
result was. I don't remember going back and having. It's been a long time since I've gone back and actually established a new thread with GPT.
created created
Yeah.
a new project. I'll tell you what, I will find myself popping back in there occasionally for like ad copy and direct response. I mean, I just have some really like well refined, like trained projects in there where I can take a video or transcript and throw it in there and be like, write me, a series of marketing material for this, and it'll punch out some pretty solid
Really?
stuff. I mean,
Better
cl-
than.
it's one of those things where it's like you know how you'll like test certain things, you'll
Yeah.
bounce from one element to the other just to kind of compare and contrast. So if I'm not kind of getting what I want initially, from Claude, I'm like, man, it's just like you're doing too much right now. That's usually the case, like where Claude's just going above and beyond, and it's just it's creating PDFs and like site. I'm like, nah, I don't need all that right now. I just need a quick to the point, like ad copy to fire up, and so I'll pop over and be like, okay, yeah, there it is. Um, but
You
yeah,
know,
so
so I don't even really engage much directly with Claude anymore. I go directly to the VS Code because it's Claude. I've
yeah,
upped my subscription to one of the Max plans, and I'll tell you what, I love it because especially being in VS Code is you can you can just pick up where you left off, and it has access to all of the files.
hmm
And I find that it's almost a second brain because I just dump everything into that, and it acts as an executive assistant,
yeah,
a non-virtual executive
a
assistant.
non-virtual,
Yeah.
right?
So this was you. You're the one who encouraged me to say, hey, instead of getting a virtual assistant, why don't you try AI first? That was you like
Yeah,
2 months ago. And I did. And I think the virtual assistant job. Doesn't matter if you're stateside or if you're, uh, Filipino, whatnot. I think those days are numbered, man.
I dude, it's interesting. You bring that up because I had like, I mean, I still have a good chunk of my team, but I know that like lot of folks that have just like halved or like 80% like headcount reduction from their team members. Um, I'm still trying to take more of like a empowered approach where I'm training them up to use more tools to be more productive. Because a lot of the people I've on my team, like I've worked with them for years, right?
Well,
Um,
that's different. That's different. That's upskilling your team to use
yeah,
AI so that they can be more efficient, because there still are those human there are still human elements. Like, I
yeah,
can't go to Claude Code and just say this is what I want and just let it run with it, and all of a sudden they wave a fairy wand and it just pops out. There still has to be that, as of right now, there still has to be that human intervention. Like, our brains are still more powerful than this AI. The difference is that, AI is just being able to call on these resources so much more, I guess, fast and reliable.
yeah,
What I'm saying though is that you're probably, my guess is, when it comes time to say, hey, I think I might need to hire another employee, you're gonna first look, well, can AI do that with my existing team? That's kind of
yep,
like what I'm thinking.
yep, 100%.
So, couple of cool things that I've done with it. Number one is the Semper Ruck app that I've been developing, and I've learned a lot of different developer tool names, or names that I've been dog fooding. You're eating your own, you're beta testing your own app.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, so cool. Technology is no longer a barrier. You still need to have the underlying understanding, APIs. You need to know how APIs work. You need to know how the terminal works. You need to know how to set it up. You need to understand logic. But
Right.
I got to tell you, the Semper Ruck app, I have two versions of it. I have a basic version of it, which is, and I'll demo it for you next time.
Yeah.
I should have just taken screenshots of it, but I'm going to. You're out getting your steps in and doing things, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so I would like you to, when I'm going to get this set up, I have to have two running apps. I have to have the the public app, and then I
Hmm.
have I guess, I don't know, I don't even know what we call it. It's the
Backing.
other app that has what the public app has, but also work on the next upgrades. So they're
Yeah.
they're running in parallel. So we're testing on this one before we deploy into that one.
Sure.
I don't know what to call it. I call it the red and black one, because the only difference is on the tile. I have my Semper Rec logo with a background of black, and the testing one is, background is red.
That's funny.
But go
You
go.
got to jump. You got to jump into some SaaS project management terminology, so you have some labels to use.
I'm learning a
Um,
lot, and just like everything that you and I have done in the past, it's just on the job training. It's
yeah.
just it's just figuring it out. But the challenge, the timeline to figure something out is minuscule compared to what it was just 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Like like I think that maybe Anthropic was probably ahead of Claude, but Claude just beat everybody to the market. Because I just can't imagine that, with exception to Elon Musk, I just can't imagine that you can just go have one LLM model hit the public and then all of a sudden everyone else does. They had to have things working. And Claude is so polished, and I feel they're so far ahead of the curve that, Anthropic or ChatGPT just pulled the trigger first. OpenAI,
Right.
I should say.
Yeah. First
Okay,
mover.
so that's one example. So I have the basic version, and I have called what's called the committed version. The committed version is going to be, my paid community. So I'm going to have a free community,
Hmm.
basic, Semper Ruck. Um, and then it's going to have a committed paid community, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Basic has a play on basic training boot camp, but basic is,
Yeah.
if you want to learn how to start rucking, if you want to just kind of get out there and have a community and get advice and get such, look, that's good enough. Stop there. But if you're a freak of nature like I am, and you want to do the daily 7, which are the calisthenics, you want to track that, and you
Mm,
want to track your nutrition, and you want to track these tiers that I've developed, and you want to compete, and you want to be part of the leaderboard, and you want
yeah.
all that functionality, that's the second one. So I'm I'm building the community based on Jim Rohn's suggestion on how to achieve greatness. Find a way to serve
Hmm.
the many, because service to many leads to greatness. That's the basic thing. But then that 10% of the people who want to get pushed, who don't look at rucking as like, hey, let me throw a vest on and let me walk my dog. Let me go mow my lawn. I'm going to call that rucking. That's
Right.
fine. They can call that rucking, and there's a place for them, and they can use the app. But anyways, I digress. So it's so cool, dude. I've made it into, like, when you track it, you can see all your metrics. You see
Hmm.
your map in the background. It has a heart rate gauge, so it's tracking your heart rate. Um, I've added into it so it has all from your phone. So imagine what you look like when you're tracking your Apple phone. How it just takes the big screen and it has on to the left. Now add a map. Now
Yeah.
add it's just. I wonder if I could show it to you, because I'm not on.
I love
I
it.
don't have a background, so I'll show it to you. I have a because I'm dog fooding it. Remember? Oh, and it has Gunny AI. I've taken the persona. I've really fine tuned the persona of a gunnery sergeant DI drill instructor, and
Yeah.
he's live in the committed, so you can chat back and forth with Gunny, and he uses the Marine Corps persona to just
I
call you
freaking
out.
love
And
that.
so that's, see
All
if you
right,
can
this
see.
is
So
oh, bro, that's awesome. That's clean,
there's
dude.
some bugs I got to work out, but
Yeah, of course.
you can see how you have the
I
gauge. So as you're
yeah.
going, it's going to show into your track, and then um, I should have the beta version up, God, within the next week for sure. But once I do it, I'll get it. And then it has, this is your workout summary.
Dude, that is sick.
Isn't that cool? And if you click
That
on
is
if you click on that, it shows you your heart. I always train with heart rate zones.
yeah. I love that. This is just my entrepreneur brain taking
I love your
for
entrepreneur brain.
for monetizing. So in the committed, so this just straight from my thing. Um, uh, ha- Having in a uh, um, to manufacture a little bit more of the community, a little bit more of the
Totally.
competitiveness,
Yeah.
have like a pledge
Yeah.
where it's a certain dollar amount for like
Hmm.
the week or the month that goes into a pool,
Ooh.
and then from that pool, like, so not necessarily like, hey, you're all getting like, I mean, you could take an admin thing, but you could put it back into the community. It could, a portion goes to the winner, whatever, whoever hit the best numbers. You could donate it to a charity of that person's choice. You could X, Y, and Z, like,
Yeah,
but
it's a
it's like a,
challenge. It's a
yeah, it's a
monetary challenge.
challenge,
It's a buy-in.
monetary challenge. Like, you're making this commitment to yourself, and you're pledging X amount of dollars that you're going to keep this commitment to yourself, and with that goes into a pool and then distribute it out however you see fit.
So That is equal to like a raffle ticket, whereas you buy a raffle ticket and they take 100% of it, the winner gets 50%, and then the other 50% gets donated to, some
Yeah,
worthy
I mean
cause.
there's a lot of ways that you could spin it, but it just kind of like a like an opt-in option for monetization. Um,
I'm wondering how we just got to make sure that it doesn't turn into betting. And I don't know that, of course I'm going to talk to my attorney Grok and find out what the differences are. That's another profession that's going to have a hard time.
um, yeah, I mean it's a I would view it. I love how the two difference. I'm like, just send it, let it rip. You're like, well, I gotta. I'm worried about if this is a turns into a betting app. I'm like, fucking, just let it rip and
And
like
then I go to
you're
jail because I'm in
you're this
California.
you're this yeah you're this point zero zero. It's all donations, right? You're donating
Yeah.
to a charity.
Well, I
Um,
think, I mean, you see that in physical competitions all the time, is that there's a pool, a prize,
yeah,
and that, you have, I'll figure it out. Like there's a way around it. And it
yeah.
really is just as simple as just doing a few clicks. And I got to tell you, to build that, so I'm building the tiers. So one of the things I'm doing about Committed, I have these tiers that are based off of your load weight, your distance, and your pace. And it's
Hmm.
and it's geared towards the Marine Corps. And because it's a Marine Corps influence, I've named those tiers on that. So the first tier is boot camp. 3 miles, you need to get your boy,
I'm good.
3 miles. Hump is 6 miles. Pogue, which means personal other than grunt. People who are grunts pick on Marines who aren't infantry, and they're called pogues. But
I
they have
love
a
it.
lower standard that grunts do, because grunts are, the frontline warriors. And so I have these tiers called that. And I want to make sure that people earn patches and they earn shirts and such. And here's my decision on it, because the monthly is going to be like $98 a month, because it's a community,
Okay.
and it's somewhat
Yeah.
coaching too. That's it. If they try for it and they earn it, I'm not going to charge them another $50 or $30. It's just
Yeah.
it's just part of the deal. But I like what you had just come up with on that, because it's not going to be a profit source. But I do want to keep it to like the Wounded Warrior Foundation,
Yeah.
something in that alignment to give back into it. Because let's be honest, an app like this, it's going to attract a certain type of someone, and
Yep.
it's probably not going to be a left leaning person. It's going to be someone who's leaning right.
Yeah.
My guess is, um, dude, I'm going to figure that out. I'm going to figure that out this probably this week.
I think that would crush. I think it could be a really good segue bridge from the free to the paid too.
Talk to me more about, what do you mean? Like so kind of a transition, if they're a basic member, and it's like, hey, here's the
If they're
challenge. You don't have to be and you get the Committed app for the period of the
yeah,
challenge.
so it's like, hey, for that, like for okay, for the month of July, like we're kicking off, and you could have they could do that like small, like one time, it could be whatever, all of those proceeds, you can have them, have it go directly to, a charity of their choosing. This month it's going to go to, X, Y, and Z, join this. So they're given for a good cause, right? But it's, you know, it, it starts that process of them, paying that the financial component there. And then you could probably, do like a lottery where you pull out like one person will get annual access. Um, you know,
Well,
something
that's a good
along
idea.
those lines, like where you have, you can have different things on, if we have this many people join. um
That's a good idea.
I mean, there's a
That's a
there's a
really good
lot
idea.
of lot of kind of ways, because it's like, what's the trigger event to take somebody from like a free user to a paid user, right? Something that can be done on repeat. Like, what's the activation
And
thing?
the really great thing about what I'm doing is I started creating this for me because all the other apps suck. And and the ones that are great are built for running, they're built for hiking.
Hmm.
They're not built for this. And what I ended up doing is I started out as a rucking app, but then the Marine Corps had it's like the Daily 16 now, but it used to be called the Daily 7, and they were gravity based workouts. You had push ups, you had a pull, you had a push, you had a pull, you had a hinge, you had core, you had all these different exercises that fit this. So I built that
Yeah.
into the app. Um, I don't want to say it's a fitness app because it's not. It's more of a tracking, a challenge. I like what you're doing with the challenge. Um, Definitely going to do the pledge. Definitely going to do that. I'd like to launch something like that in the next, probably in the next 90 days. Got to make sure, and you're going to help me with this. I'm not going to, you know, Claude is pushing me like, just launch it, just launch it. It's weird. It's like you, like Claude was like based off, not you, based off of you, but I'm like, no, not launching it. My corporate job, we launch things that aren't ready, that are buggy, and
Hmm.
it causes the level of stress and the level of time that has to go into fixing it is magnified by a factor of 10. But if I just, I'm just doing things like I'm doing it fast because I'm working on it nightly. But the cool thing
Yeah.
is that I get to a certain point, I'm like, okay, work on this overnight, and I wake up to the things done and the list of things that I physically, human needs to do. Like going and getting an API key, human has to do that. Getting the API
Right.
and getting things figured out, human has to do that. Um, so I'm going to do that. I'm gonna do that. I can do it for November, Veterans Day, man. Well, that might be too far out. We're in June, too soon for July, August, September. I don't know. There's some sort of something. There's a charity called Mission 22, um, named after 22 veterans take their lives.
Yeah.
Um, I think it's every day. 22 veterans take their own life, and I did a rucking thing for that, and surprisingly, I was able to raise like more money than I thought it was. I didn't know I've. You might remember it because I put it on Facebook, and I'm just like, man, this is going to be embarrassing because no one's going to donate, and I actually hit the goal. Apparently, I know more people than I would. Good cause though. So that's coming up, and that's a good way to promote the app too. Like they can, get with them and to track it. Dude, that's why I like talking to you. This is why
Yeah.
you and I do this every Friday. And this is how our podcast came about, was the conversations that we had, and we're like, we should have recorded that. Because this will help someone else out
Right.
too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But here's the other cool thing. So I was in Grand Cayman last week at a company event, top companies that we were there. And I'm like, I went to one of the functions, and after the end of the functions, I'm like, I don't know what these, I needed somehow, because they gave us a booklet with
Hmm.
pictures, names, but it's really awkward to actually be at an event and pull out a booklet and try to think about who's who and such. And then it's really hard to keep notes afterwards. True story. This is true story. So I get done with the event at about 9, go back to the room, and I open up a new file in uh, VS Code with Claude. And I'm like, okay, I need an app. It needs me an app. This is what it needs to do. It needs to have a picture of the person, it needs to have their name. their contact information, what city and state is, and then I need a way to mark if I've met them or not because we have the booklet of everyone, and I need to be able to write notes. Oh, and by the way, I need to be able to give this to my colleagues so they can do it too.
Mm.
3 hours of work. I build this app. It actually extracted all the photos from a PDF and made them high enough resolution that they could work. So if you click on the photo, it makes it big so you can see who they are. Has their name, their company name, what city and state they're in. Has a toggle switch if you met them or not met them, and then allows you to just put. No, it's very simple. But the cool thing is that it now gave us all the stats of who all of the leadership team, who met who, which one of our guests had the most contact with the leadership team, where all the notes that came off of all of that. So I did that in 3 hours, 4 hours.
Dude, that's awesome. He's hooked.
Yeah. Yeah. Now it's just like, okay, if I have a problem, oh well, let's build an app. There's an app for that.
It's Yep,
Remember my
there is
remember my
now.
role playing group?
Yeah,
Like I duct taped that together through then. This had to have been what 6 7 years ago. I duct taped that together in that old version of Go High Level, the early version. Now, I mean, I wouldn't do
right.
it just because of well, number one, I just don't have time. I don't have like I'm doing the rucking thing. I don't need it. I'm doing the rucking thing and the full time job thing. I'm I'm
That's
okay with.
sufficient.
I have the dad thing. I have the dad thing going on. The husband thing going on.
There's the dad thing, the husband, the dad, the
Yeah,
employee, the
yeah,
entrepreneur. Yeah.
yeah. So, but uh, but yeah, man. So I'm actually going to build the community. I started going down the road of building the community on Go High Level, and I decided to veer from that and go on to school instead. And the reasoning behind it is, and love to hear your take on this. Number one, there's not many wrecking apps in the app store. So I think that's going to
Hmm.
be a someone who gets into app into Ruck. They're gonna do what I did, and they're like, oh, I wonder if there's an app for that. And they're gonna find Semper Ruck and they're gonna download it, and then
Yeah.
in that, it's gonna push them to join the community because school is such a large community. I think that I will get users in the community that will download the app from the school community.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, I love Go High Level. I think what they do is great. I think the school user experience is superior to the communities
Yeah.
in Go High Level. And to get started,
Yeah,
it's
for
$9
sure.
a month, and it's $9 a month, and it's 10% of your take. So, I need to. So it allows you to grow very
Right.
slow, and you can just flip the switch. $9 a month
Yep.
and 10%. That's much better than anything. So I'm still
Yeah.
gonna use Go High Level for the back end, not get rid of that, but I'm gonna work on that this weekend.
Yeah, I love that. No, it's uh, I think it's a great place for, you know, having that community component. And um there's so much, upside too for network, but also just, I mean, they get, I mean, they have a ton of resources. Like they want you to grow your school, right? So it's like that's
Yeah.
they're laser focused on, hey, do this, here's this. Like, you get all the added benefit of everybody march into the similar, similar tune there to grow their community. So
You
hey, this is
just
working really
said,
well. You gotta go.
I thought the name school was stupid until you just said something, is that they want you to grow your school because this is a wrecking school. And up until that moment, right now in time, I thought it was a dumb name. Now I'm like, oh, it's actually a cool name.
Okay. Well played. Good job, Sam.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Sam did that, not Alex, huh? They're
Yeah.
partners.
Yeah, Sam
What do you got
started that.
going
He
on?
trained.
We've talked about all of this stuff. What do you got going on?
Same old same, man. Just try not to do too much. I think the my most recent initiatives, I've tested out firing up a lot of like front end low ticket offers. Actually using Manus for this. So just hey, out of all the resources that I have, like whip up a landing page, tie in Stripe. You can run ads directly to Manus. Um,
Okay, so I don't know
so
what Manus is, and
Manus is Facebook bought it or Meta bought it. So is it under
MANIS.
LLM? MANUS, I believe.
So I'm noticing that in the beta, in the labs
Yeah,
on Go High Level,
MANUS.
it has a flow based builder for voice AI, knowledge based, like there's a lot of things. You asked me if I tried the AI builder in High Level, and I still haven't. But I went into labs, and there's a conversations AI full screen builder. Is that what you're talking about?
No.
Now,
So
is that Manus?
they
Is that the same thing that Manus does?
um so Manus, I would say, I mean Manus is just like a regular chat, just a regular LLM, like Claude, like Chat GPT. The one that I was touching on through High Level was the AI Studio and Ask AI. So the
Okay,
AI Studio is more uh like a lovable, like your
got
I
it.
mean you can code stuff, make stuff, uh but it is I mean it's just a really user friendly for tool for making sites that ties right in. I mean you could do a lot more with it, but that's what I use it for, and it's pretty spot on too for some of the examples that I've been whipping up through Manus. I just like Manus because I can fire up from concept of an offer to a live low ticket offer in like an hour, 2 hours, like A to Z. You know,
Hands on AI. Got it.
have it create.
Now, do you see, based on what you know, what I'm doing, do you see me needing to go down that route and seeing what Manus does at this point?
Nah,
No.
no.
Okay. I'll let you go down that route until you
Yeah,
until you figure it
just
out.
keep doing what you're doing. I mean, maybe at some point in time, like once you have like more of like infrastructure and people coming in, where you wanted to start running some paid traffic, it might make sense.
Yeah, my
Um,
whole thing is just going to be organic.
but I think,
I'm going to
yeah,
focus on my YouTube page, create content,
yeah, it's got
put the
that.
app out.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you have that like virality thing component where it can crush really well with organic. Instagram and YouTube combo, I think would do the trick there.
Yeah, that's my plan. That's what I'm. That's what I've been doing. So, all right, man, we are at time. So happy Juneteenth because you're in Texas, and apparently Texas is what caused this national law. So I appreciate you and your other Texans for giving us a national holiday.
So, funny trivia on that. Um, uh, it was from Galveston.
Okay.
The and on their sign it says uh, the the birthplace of Juneteenth.
Oh my gosh.
Not
Okay.
not quite necessarily the thing that you want to be going for, because they were the last holdout for
Yeah.
slavery.
Yeah. That's.
So it's
I think.
so it's,
I think they might. I think they may have missed the mark on that one.
they're
The
they're really
birthplace of another day off is what that is.
You're like, all right. So I don't quite think you think that means what that means, but yeah,
Look, man, I
we'll let
mean,
that
look
one.
at Memorial Day. Like people don't know
Yeah,
that that's a solemn day and that it's there to honor those who gave their lives for their country. They look at it as the first day of summer barbecues and
yep,
going out on the boat. So Juneteenth, I think that the reason, the foundation of why a holiday is there, it gets lost over time. And
yeah,
Juneteenth, it took, but it's only like a 3-year old holiday, like maybe two. This might be the third one, um, and already it's gone. It's just like another day off. It's father. It's
yep.
it's Father's Day. It's a Father's Day. It's a holiday
Father's
for
Day.
Father's Day weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
All
take it.
right. All right, brother. Well,
All right, dude.
enjoy your weekend. We'll talk next week.
Likewise.
Bye.
Later.